They mistook it for a relic until the human warship came to life. The dead world had no real name. The alien maps called it Sector Grey 9, but even that felt generous. It was a cold planet covered in dust, broken stone, and the remains of things that had once burned and melted. No plants grew there. No animals moved there. The sky stayed a dull brown, and the wind never stopped whispering across the ground. An alien research team had landed near a long ridge of shattered rock. Their scans had shown something large buried beneath the surface. At first, they thought it was a natural formation. Then the readings became strange. Straight lines appeared where nature rarely made them. Hollow spaces showed up where solid stone should be. That was when they decided it was important. The aliens brought humans with them, not because they trusted them, but because the object was human in origin. The Alien Council believed it was an old human relic. Something symbolic, something left behind by a young and careless species. Jack Morris stepped off the shuttle and looked across the empty land. He was a simple man with short dark hair and tired eyes. He had worked salvage jobs for most of his life. He knew broken ships, dead stations, and forgotten battlefields. This place made his stomach feel tight. Lisa Brown followed him, holding a small scanner. She was quiet, careful, and always paying attention. Kevin Adams came last, adjusting his suit gloves and looking around with open curiosity. He was younger than the others and still believed every mystery had a clear answer. The alien leader, a tall figure with smooth gray skin and narrow eyes, spoke through a translator. It welcomed the humans and explained the task. They would help identify the object. They would confirm it had no danger. Then the aliens would claim it for study. Jack did not like the sound of that. The digging began with heavy machines cutting into the rock. Layer after layer was removed. Dust filled the air. After several hours, metal appeared. It was dark, thick, and scarred. It did not look decorative. It looked strong. Lisa moved closer and wiped dust from the surface. Symbols appeared beneath her hand. They were worn but still clear. "These are not religious marks," she said quietly. The aliens ignored her comment. They were excited. Their scanners showed no active power, no weapons heat, no movement. To them it was safe. Jack studied the metal and frowned. Human ships were not built like this for ceremonies. The plating was layered, designed to take punishment. He recognized patterns meant to spread impact and absorb energy. This thing was built for war. As more of the object was uncovered, its true size became clear. It was massive, far larger than any transport ship. Its shape was long and angular, designed to cut through space. Broken stone still clung to its sides, but the body beneath was mostly intact. Kevin found a sealed hatch near the front. It had no handle, no panel, no markings. He scanned it, but the device showed nothing useful. "It does not open," he said. Jack placed his hand against the metal. It felt cold, but there was something else. A deep silence, like a held breath. "We should be careful," Jack said. The alien leader dismissed the concern. It stated that humans often exaggerated danger. It said the object had slept for centuries. It said nothing could wake it now. Lisa glanced at Jack. He could see she felt the same unease. As the sun dipped low, the team continued working. Lights were set up around the site. Shadows stretched across the metal surface. Deep lines and panels became visible. This was no statue, no memorial, it was a ship. Late in the work cycle, Lisa's scanner flickered. She stopped walking. "Did you see that?" she asked. Kevin moved closer. His scanner also showed a brief spike, then nothing. "Power fluctuation," he said. "Maybe leftover energy." Jack looked back at the ship. He felt the same tight feeling again. "There is no leftover energy after this long," he said. The aliens laughed through their translator. They called it superstition. They reminded the humans that their instruments showed no danger. Jack did not argue. He had learned long ago that people who laughed at caution often learned too late. During the next day, the object was fully uncovered. It rested in a shallow crater like a sleeping beast. Alien flags were placed nearby, marking ownership. The humans noticed that the ship did not seem to like that. It was only a feeling, but it was strong. The aliens decided to move the relic to their nearby museum station. Large transport fields were set up around the object. As the fields activated, a low vibration passed through the ground. Lisa froze. Jack felt it too. Kevin checked his scanner again. This time the reading stayed. There is power, Kevin said slowly. Very low but real. The alien leader demanded confirmation. Its own devices still showed nothing. It accused the humans of faulty tools. Jack stepped forward. "This is a human ship," he said. "Our ships do not fully wake unless they recognize us." The alien leader dismissed this again. It ordered the transport to continue. As the field lifted the massive object from the ground, dust fell away from hidden sections. Along the underside, small ports opened slightly, then sealed again. No one noticed except Jack. His heart began to race. Inside the ship, far from the light and noise, ancient systems felt a touch they remembered. Sensors tasted human presence for the first time in centuries. Old circuits stirred. Deep memory banks unlocked. A silent protocol began. On the surface, the transport field struggled. The object shifted its balance as if correcting itself. The aliens blamed gravity errors. They increased power. Lisa moved closer to Jack. "This feels wrong," she whispered. Jack nodded. "Humans did not bury warships as trash," he said. "If this was left here, it was meant to stay asleep." Kevin looked between them. "Or it was meant to wake later," he said. The transport finally lifted the ship fully free. It hovered above the crater, stable now. The aliens celebrated. They announced that the relic would soon be studied and displayed. Jack stared up at the dark hull. One panel near the front glowed faintly for less than a second. It was so brief that he wondered if he imagined it. But deep inside the ship, something had changed. The ship remembered its name. It remembered its purpose. And for the first time in a very long time, it listened again to the presence of humans nearby. Jack did not know why, but he felt certain of one thing. They had not found a dead relic. They had found something that had only been waiting. The transport ship carried the massive human object slowly toward the alien museum station. The journey was quiet. The wind on the dead planet was replaced by the hum of alien engines. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin floated in the shuttle near the cargo bay, watching the enormous hull hover like a dark shadow beneath them. At first, everything seemed normal. The aliens monitored their systems, scanned the object, and confirmed again that there was no power. They joked about the humans' caution, calling it fear of harmless history, but Jack could not shake the feeling that something was wrong. The hull was not inert. It was listening. Lisa moved along the edge of the cargo bay and scanned the metal again. Strange readings appeared on her small device. Low pulses, almost imperceptible but real. She frowned. Jack noticed her concern. "What is it?" he asked. "I don't know," Lisa said. "It's like something inside is waking up." Very slowly. He had worked with dead ships before, with wrecks older than the humans themselves. He had learned that machines built for war remembered far more than people thought. The aliens were moving the object through a narrow canyon. Jagged cliffs rose on each side. Suddenly, the ship shifted slightly. The transport field wavered. A small panel near the front of the human ship opened just a fraction. A faint blue light flickered inside. The aliens screamed at the field operators. "Stop! What is happening?" they demanded. Jack stepped forward. "It's alive," he said. "In its own way, it recognizes humans, that's why it moved." Tiny energy streams ran along the surface of the hull. Circuits long dormant were connecting again. There was a pattern, a rhythm. Kevin's eyes widened. "It's not just alive, it's thinking. Slowly, but thinking." Suddenly, the canyon opened into a wide valley. Pirate ships appeared on sensors. They had followed the alien convoy, hoping to take an easy prize. Jack tensed. "We're not ready for this," he muttered. The aliens raised shields and weapons, but their systems were outdated. They had relied on the assumption that the human object was harmless. The pirates closed in. Inside the human ship, the system began to analyze the threat. Long-forgotten weapons protocols activated silently. Sensors that had slept for centuries lit up inside the hull. Energy flowed through the panels. Lights blinked in sequences that no alien or human had ever seen before. Lisa pointed at a symbol near a hatch. "This isn't decoration," she said. "These are instructions, warnings. It's military, not religious." Humans didn't build this to be pretty. They built it to survive and fight. Its systems were calculating the situation. It recognized Jack, Lisa, and Kevin nearby. They were the key to activating full functions. Jack realized that the ship might not move unless humans gave it some signal, even unknowingly. He stepped closer. The panel light blinked at him. It was faint, almost like a greeting. The pirates grew closer. One pirate ship attempted to ram the transport field. The human object moved for the first time. The massive hull shifted slightly. Thrusters inside opened. Weapons ports extended just a little. Not enough to fire, but enough to make the aliens scream in panic. "It's not harmless," one alien shouted. Stop it now." "We have to stay calm." I've never seen human doors react like this without a code. Energy surged along its hull. Lights blazed along panels. A loud hum filled the valley. It was not loud enough to hear outside, but inside it vibrated through the cargo bay like a heartbeat. Jack felt it in his chest. The ship was alive. More alive than anything he had ever known. The first weapons fired silently from the object. Not deadly yet, but precise. Pirate ships began to take small damage. Shields were cut. Engines were disrupted. The pirates realized too late that the object was not a relic. It was a warship. The aliens shouted, "Stop, it is not a weapon." It would not destroy everything. It was learning, watching, waiting. Lisa's eyes were wide. "It's amazing," she whispered. "It knows exactly what it can do. It's like it's alive in a way I never thought possible." The human object was not mindless. It calculated, it controlled, it survived. The alien leader panicked. "This cannot be. We told you it was a relic. It cannot fight." Pirate ships fled. Some were destroyed, some disabled. The transport field remained intact. The alien station in the valley was untouched. The human ship returned to its silent position, lights dimming but still active. Lisa exhaled slowly. That was incredible. It only moved because it had to. It didn't attack without reason. And it only protected. No one else could do that. He felt a connection he could not explain. "It's waiting for us to guide it," he said. "We don't have to tell it what to do, but it trusts humans to make the right choice. It's human, even if it's just a machine." They realized this was not just a relic. It was a guardian. A weapon designed not for destruction alone, but for survival, strategy, and judgment. And it was alive enough to know the difference. That night, the transport reached the museum station. The alien team wanted to secure the object. They wanted to study it. They still did not understand. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin prepared for what would come next. The ship had awakened, but it had only just begun. Inside the massive hull, systems continued to check for threats. Old memories activated. Energy flowed into dormant engines. Lights blinked along corridors that had not seen life in centuries. The ship knew humans were nearby. It listened for commands, for presence, for trust. Jack leaned back, tired but alert. He whispered to himself, "They think it's a relic. They have no idea what they've found." He only knew one thing. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and they would soon learn the cost of that mistake. And in the quiet of the museum station, the massive human object waited. It was no longer just metal and circuits. It was alive in purpose, in strategy, and in the memory of the species that had built it. The aliens had made a grave mistake. They had mistaken a sleeping giant for a harmless relic. and the giant was already listening. The human object rested quietly at the alien museum station for a few hours. The aliens had placed it in the largest hangar they could find. They wanted to study it, scan it, and display it for the galaxy to see. To them it was a relic, nothing more. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin remained close to the object. They watched as the aliens ran their tests. Scanners moved along its hull. Small drones flew around its sides. The aliens muttered constantly, arguing about what they could learn. They did not notice the small movements of the ship itself. Inside the ship, systems were not idle. Energy flowed through long dormant circuits. Computers activated quietly, scanning the surroundings. Sensors checked the station, the aliens, and the humans nearby. The ship remembered every protocol it had been given centuries ago. Its core purpose was clear: protect humans, survive, and act when needed. Jack moved closer to a panel that had flickered once earlier. He placed his hand on the metal. A faint vibration ran through his fingers. It was subtle, like a pulse. Lisa noticed it and leaned forward. "It's awake," she whispered. "Really awake this time." Humans built machines to wait for the right moment. The drone moved closer. The panel opened slightly. A faint glow lit the inside. The ship's internal sensors detected an unauthorized touch. A security protocol activated. Warning lights flashed inside the hangar. Small energy pulses caused the drone to shut down. The aliens panicked. "What is happening?" one of them yelled. "It is attacking. It reacts to us differently than the aliens." Pirate vessels had tracked the alien transport convoy here. They thought the museum station would be an easy target. Jack's stomach tightened. "We're not ready," he muttered. The aliens scrambled. Shields rose. Weapons came online. They shouted orders to each other in panic. But the human object did not wait. It moved on its own. Thrusters along the hull fired, lifting it slightly from the hangar floor. Panels opened to reveal hidden energy ports. Weapons systems emerged, carefully aimed at the incoming pirates. No one had given it a command. The ship was acting on its own judgment. Jack stepped closer. "It knows," he said. "It knows we are in danger. Every weapon, every shield, it's using them perfectly. Nothing wasted." Engines disrupted pirate engines. Shields broke in seconds. The station remained untouched. The aliens screamed in fear. "Stop it! We told you it was harmless." It was designed not to destroy everything in sight, but to protect. It followed protocols older than the aliens themselves. Lisa pointed to a section of the hull. "Look, it's targeting engines, weapons, not the crew. It's careful. Humans built this for precision, not chaos. That's incredible." Small drones launched from hidden ports, disabling enemy systems without destroying ships. The human object was a guardian, not a destroyer. Inside the hull, systems continued to scan. The ship recognized Jack and Lisa. It assigned them as acting commanders due to proximity and human presence. Kevin watched as panels lit up along corridors, responding to their movements. Jack realized the ship would follow their guidance, but not blindly. It would act with its own judgment, protecting humans first. "It's incredible," he whispered. "It doesn't just follow orders, it understands responsibility." The alien crew stared in disbelief. Their relic had fought and it had protected, not indiscriminately but with strategy and judgment. Lisa exhaled. It only acted when needed. It didn't attack without cause. Patience, calculation, restraint. We only fight when necessary, and we fight to protect. Finally, one spoke. We underestimated it, and we underestimated them. A machine built to remember, to protect, and to act when necessary. We just have to stay calm and guide it when needed." Kevin smiled. The galaxy has no idea what they're dealing with. Their relic had proven itself a living warship. Their understanding of humans had changed forever. As the night fell over the station, the human object rested again. Panels blinked softly, thrusters idled silently, and weapon systems remained ready but dormant. It listened. It watched. It waited. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin knew one thing: the warship had awakened. The galaxy had not seen the last of it, and in the quiet hum of the station, the human object prepared for what would come next. It was no longer just metal and circuits. It was alive, it was human, and it would act when the time was right. The pirates had learned nothing that day. The aliens had learned a little, but Jack, Lisa, and Kevin understood fully. Humans build to endure, to survive, and to protect. And the human object, once thought to be a relic, had proven it. The museum station was quiet after the battle. Pirate ships were either destroyed or drifting powerless in space. Alarms still rang lightly, but the humans could feel the calm after the storm. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin floated near the massive human warship. Its hull glimmered faintly under the station lights, panels open and humming with life. The aliens were frantic. They could not understand what they had witnessed. Jack studied the warship. "It's not just a machine," he said. "It's aware, it's thinking, and it decides how to act." Lisa nodded. "And it only acts to protect, nothing else." Kevin pointed at a section of the hull. "Look at how precise its weapons are. It didn't destroy everything. Just what was necessary." The aliens began arguing. One of them shouted, "We will study it. We will control it." Jack shook his head. "You can't control it. It doesn't belong to anyone but humans. It will only obey humans it recognizes." Inside the warship, systems ran silently. It had scanned the entire station. Sensors detected humans and aliens. It measured the risk. It recognized Jack and Lisa as the closest humans, Kevin slightly behind. It remembered the attack. It remembered the threat. It remembered its purpose. The aliens continued their attempts to analyze and probe the ship. Scanners bounced off the hull. Drones attempted to open panels. The warship reacted. Small energy pulses forced the drones away. No damage was done, but the warnings were clear. The ship would not tolerate interference. Jack floated closer. "It's teaching them a lesson," he said. "It's showing them respect must be earned." Lisa studied the warship's panels. "Everything about this design, it's human. The restraint, the calculation, the patience. It's all in the code." Kevin frowned. "Why would humans build something like this and leave it buried for centuries?" Jack's eyes narrowed. "Protection. Humans know when to hide power. They wait until it's needed. They survive first and only then they fight." The aliens grumbled and argued among themselves. Their pride had been wounded. The warship had shown them a truth they could not deny. A machine they called a relic had fought and protected. They realized humans had designed for survival in ways far beyond alien imagination. A small alarm went off inside the warship. Sensors detected movement at the station's outer docking bay. More pirate ships. Jack watched the display carefully. Kevin's scanner confirmed it. "Incoming, a small fleet. Maybe scouts, maybe the rest of them." Jack exhaled. "They'll learn quickly." Inside the warship, systems prepared automatically. Energy flowed through panels. Weapons moved to ready position. Shields extended slightly, unseen by the aliens. The ship was ready to act if necessary, but it still waited. It measured, calculated, and ensured it only acted when required. Lisa watched quietly. "It doesn't attack first. It waits. It decides when to defend." The new pirate fleet approached cautiously. They saw the damaged remnants of their allies. They assumed the station was weak. They had no idea what awaited them. Jack pointed at the hull. "It's ready. It knows exactly what to do." Kevin studied the readings. "It's predicting their moves before they even make them." The first pirate ship fired. A beam of energy hit the station's outer shield. The warship reacted instantly. Hidden weapons deployed, targeting engines and weapons systems only. No unnecessary destruction occurred. The pirate ship shuddered under precise strikes, unable to escape. Jack's voice was calm. "It doesn't overkill. It's human design." "Fight only what's needed," Lisa added, "and protect what matters. The station, the humans, nothing more." The pirates panicked. Some tried to retreat, others attempted desperate attacks. The warship anticipated every move. Thrusters fired silently to reposition. Weapons and shields activated with perfect timing. Within minutes, all pirate ships were disabled or destroyed. The station remained unharmed. The aliens stared in silence. One finally spoke. We were wrong. Humans are not weak. This is power beyond our understanding." Jack floated toward the control panel. He didn't touch anything. The warship had already assigned guidance through recognition. "They have learned the lesson," he said. "This is how humans survive, not by rash attacks but by calculation, patience, and protection." Kevin looked at the aliens. "Do they even understand what they just saw?" Lisa shook her head. "They'll have stories, they'll try to explain it, but they'll never truly understand human design, not until they face it themselves." The warship powered down most of its systems slowly. Panels closed, weapons retracted, thrusters idled. It remained alert, ready to act again if needed. Inside, its core systems continued to monitor the station, the humans, and the surroundings. Every calculation ensured readiness. Jack stepped back. "It trusts us," he said, "but it will always act to protect humans even if we aren't nearby. That's how it was built." The aliens slowly approached the humans. Their tone was cautious. We apologize," one said. "We mistook your technology for harmless artifacts. We did not understand your patience, your planning, your design." Jack nodded. "Respect is earned. Humans earn it differently than other species, through restraint, endurance, and preparation." Lisa added, "And through protection. We protect what matters and we only fight when necessary." Kevin smiled slightly. "And our machines follow the same rules. They only act when they must, and they act precisely." The aliens were silent again. They realized they had learned a small truth about humans that day. One relic, thought useless, had proven the power of design, patience, and judgment. The station went quiet. The human warship remained at the hangar, alive but resting. It had proven its power, protected the humans, and taught a lesson. It had not needed orders. It had acted on its own judgment. It had shown restraint, intelligence, and awareness. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin floated near it, understanding fully what had happened. Humans had not built a relic. They had built a guardian, a machine that could fight, survive, and protect, even after centuries of sleep. And the galaxy at that moment had begun to learn what humans were capable of. The pirates had fled. The aliens had learned caution. The humans had survived. And inside the massive hull, the warship waited, alert, patient, and ready. Its systems hummed quietly, remembering humans and preparing for the next moment they might be needed. Jack looked at the ship one last time. "They think it's a relic," he said softly, "but it's far more than that, and it always will be." Lisa and Kevin nodded. The station remained quiet, the galaxy calm for now, but the humans and their warship were ready. The lesson had been taught. Respect was earned in silence. And the human warship, once forgotten, had proven that patience, restraint, and intelligence were the greatest weapons of all. The battle had ended, and the museum station was quiet again. Pirate ships were gone, either destroyed or drifting powerless in space. The alarms that had blared earlier were now soft, almost peaceful. The alien crew floated in the hangar, staring at the massive human warship that now rested in the center like a silent giant. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin stood nearby, watching it carefully. The warship's hull glimmered faintly under the station lights. Panels that had been opened during the battle now closed slowly, and its weapons retracted. Thrusters were idle but ready. The ship had acted with precision, using every weapon, every system, only when necessary. It had fought, but it had not destroyed indiscriminately. It had protected. And now it waited. Jack moved closer to the hull, his hand almost brushing against it. A faint vibration ran through his fingers, like a heartbeat. Lisa floated beside him, scanning the surface carefully. Kevin checked his devices, confirming that all systems were now in standby mode. "It's listening," Jack said softly. "Even now, it remembers everything that happened." It knows who the humans are, and it knows what is important to protect. One of them floated forward, looking nervous. We were wrong, it admitted. We called it a relic. We thought humans were weak. We did not understand. We protect first and only fight when necessary. That's how we last. That's how we win. They need respect. Humans earn respect differently. You have learned the first lesson about humans: patience, endurance, and intelligence. The second is simple: never underestimate a sleeping giant. Engines were quiet, weapons offline, but the ship was ready. It had learned the humans, recognized their presence, and trusted them. It had acted only when needed, but it was prepared to act again at a moment's notice. Kevin floated closer to the humans. "It's incredible," he said. "We saw it fight, we saw it protect, but it never lost control. It acted with thought, not anger. They don't just follow orders. They protect, survive, and act wisely. That's what makes it so powerful." Lisa pointed at one of the panels. "Look, it's scanning the repairs. It wants to make sure the humans and the station are safe. It's still protecting, even when nothing is attacking. We protect first, and we act only when we must." They had spent centuries studying humans, thinking they were weak, reckless, and primitive. Now they understood a truth they could not ignore. Humans built to endure. Humans built to protect. And humans never gave up, even when the odds were impossible. Inside the warship, memory banks recorded the day's events. Threats, calculations, responses, and outcomes were all stored. Systems adjusted, learned, and prepared for future action. The ship had awakened. It had fought. It had protected. And it had returned to quiet vigilance. Jack moved back from the hull. "They think it's a relic," he said softly. "They have no idea what it really is, and they never will unless they see it act. It will fight, but only with purpose. That's why it exists. No one else could do that. You have learned to respect what you cannot control. That's an important lesson." It had proven its strength. It had fought and protected without excess. It had acted only when required. It had reminded the galaxy that humans were not weak, and their technology was not to be underestimated. Jack, Lisa, and Kevin floated in the hangar quietly, watching the ship. "It's more than a warship," Jack said. "It's a guardian. It waits, it learns, it protects, and it only acts when humans need it. It understands humans. It will fight with their principles, not blindly." The aliens were wary but respectful. The humans had survived, and the warship had proven its purpose. It was no longer just a relic. It was alive in purpose, in memory, and in judgment. Jack stepped back from the ship. "The galaxy may forget what it saw today, but it should not. Humans endure, humans survive, and humans protect. This ship proves it. But they may not remember it until they face humans again. And by then, it will be too late to doubt our strength." Patience, endurance, intelligence, and protection were the true power of the species. Inside the massive hull, the warship continued to monitor. Sensors swept the station, space, and every approaching ship. Weapons were idle, but systems were ready. It remembered the humans, recognized their presence, and trusted them. It was awake but patient. It waited, calm and silent. Jack looked at Lisa and Kevin. "We came to study a relic," he said softly. "But we found a guardian, a warship built to last, to protect, and to survive. And it has shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. And the galaxy doesn't even know the full truth. They think it's a relic, but it's far more. It's human. It's alive in purpose. And humans never give up. It would survive. It would protect. It would endure. And for Jack, Lisa, and Kevin, that was enough. They had seen the power of a sleeping giant. They had witnessed what humans could do. And they knew the galaxy would never truly understand until humans decided it was time to show them. The museum station remained calm. The aliens worked carefully. Humans watched silently, and the warship waited, patient and ready. The day had ended, but the lesson was clear. Humans build to survive, to endure, and to protect. And the warship, once thought to be a relic, had proven that humans were never to be underestimated. It was alive, awake, and ready for whatever might come next.